Chances are you're moving to Michigan and you're looking for that perfect place to call home. Now, I know you got a ton of questions and you're also wondering if Brighton might just be that perfect place. So come with me as we explore Brighton, Michigan and see what the locals both love and hate about it, uncover some hidden gems, and see what living in Brighton is all about. So will you find everything you're looking for here in Brighton? Stick around to find out. Hey, if we're meeting here for the first time, my name is Eric Meldrum. I'm a realtor with True Living Group, and today we're on a mission to help you learn everything there is to know about living right here in Brighton, Michigan. So if you like this video, go ahead and like it, share it with somebody, and subscribe to learn about all things living in Michigan. And if you'd like our help moving to Michigan, all my contact information is in the description below. Feel free to reach out anytime. Now, let's go check out Brighton. All right, so we're here in downtown Brighton, and today I'm going to show you around, show you everything that Brighton has to offer. And Brighton's really known for its lake communities, its outdoor living, and more importantly, the downtown area, which brings the community together. You know, this is Main Street. So on Main Street, you got tons of shops, restaurants. Just behind us, you got restaurants like Lou and Carl's, The Label. You know, you got restaurants like Jezebel's, and then little boutique shops. You got a vitamin shop. You got the Running Lab down the street. All of these are locally owned by people here in our community. And the one thing that I think really speaks to most people who love living here in Brighton is this downtown area. This is where all the events happen. So in the summer, we have the Taste of Brighton right here on Main Street. This is all closed down, and you are seeing the downtown area for the first time since it's been redone. All these planters are all new, all these trees are all new. So it's a really big makeover for the city here. But one of our favorite things to do on a weekend is come downtown, grab tacos from LR Bowl, and head over to the AMP and just sit there and eat lunch. You're eating outside overlooking Mill Pond, and it's one of the most peaceful and best experiences my family's ever had downtown Brighton. What's your name?
Ray.
Ray, and how long you live in Brighton?
2 years.
2 years? What made you move to Brighton?
Well, I was living in Canton. It was my second time in Canton. I was in Canton for 13 years, moved out to New Hudson, and then went back to Canton. And then my wife passed away, unfortunately, and I decided I wanted to come back out here again. So I moved into Brighton instead of New Hudson. But I'm glad I'm out here. It's a really neat town.
Yeah, really neat
I love
town.
it.
So you've been here 2 years. What do you love most about living in Brighton?
This downtown area and all the restaurants that we have access to, the Running Lab and the vitamin shop. You got everything we need down here. It's just a great little town.
There's been a lot of growing pains in Brighton. What would you say about all the construction and the growth of the city?
It was tough to go through, I'll tell you that. But now that it's behind us, I think it was worth it.
Hi, I'm Elise Moore, and my husband Caleb and I own McClement's Farm, which is a freeze-dried candy and food business in downtown Brighton. I love living in Brighton just because there's just endless amounts of community activities to do here. And I love that all the downtown businesses are constantly supporting each other and the community by developing new things for us to do. Since I have lived in Brighton, which has been 7 years, I have witnessed just the growth of downtown, a flood of people coming to spend their money locally at small businesses. And I've just noticed a real camaraderie with the community coming around the downtown as we had development going on, we had the road construction, and now seeing everybody outside just enjoying the beautiful, beautiful downtown that we have. That's priceless. If someone were thinking about moving to Brighton, I would tell them definitely go for it and be willing to spend the time meeting people that maybe are outside of your circle. As someone who's been in Brighton for 7 years, I've had the opportunity to meet people that I otherwise would not brush shoulders with, just by hanging out in the downtown businesses, maybe eating at an establishment I wouldn't normally walk into, or shopping at a store that I wouldn't have gone to before. The business owners here are really, really incredible, and they all have amazing stories of how they've gotten to where they are.
I'm Matt, co-owner of Great Harvest Bread Company, downtown Brighton. The community is the best part of downtown Brighton. The support of everybody down here is fantastic, especially during COVID, and then also the streetscape construction, which does look fantastic. The community is amazing. We have the nicest community of business owners and regular customers that come in, people that I've known for 10, 15 years. Really, the tight-knit community is the best part of Brighton. I've been here my whole life. I really can't believe it, especially when I drive down Grand River and down here with the new construction. It looks like a totally new city, but it is hustling and more vibrant than ever. Just come downtown, visit the shops, talk to the local business owners, talk to the locals down here. I think you'll get a very nice reception and learn everything you need to know. I love Brighton so much. The support of the community has helped my mother and I run this business, and cannot ask for a greater community of business owners and customers.
But living in Brighton doesn't come without its challenges. You know, right behind me, this used to be a parking lot for the restaurant right next door, which is Chow Michi's, and now it's going to be a 3-story building with mixed retail developments, a restaurant in it, you know, which some people look at as a good thing. Some people may look at it as a negative. You know, coming from a small town like Brighton is, you know, change is inevitable as it grows, but there's always resistance to change. So we have growing pains just like every city that started small and is growing. Things like traffic, right? Parking is an issue. Like it just said, this used to be a parking lot. Now this parking lot's gone and it's going to be a building. So where are the people going to park downtown? Well, the city's figuring that out. But just like everything, the city always comes together here in Brighton and figures it out as a community. And yeah, that's the one thing I do love about living right here in Brighton.
And on top of the amazing downtown that Brighton has to offer, there's so much more from a lifestyle perspective that I want to explore with you guys. And this brings me back to when I was looking for our first home. My wife and I had just started the search, and we were looking specifically in Ann Arbor. We were living in Ann Arbor at the time, and we had our sights set on Ann Arbor. Like Brighton was not even on our radar at the time. And so we searched for about 6 months, and we always wanted, you know, that accessibility to highways, accessibility to the downtown area for restaurants, accessibility to parks, because at the time our first daughter was being born, you know, so Mila came along in 2016 and kind of changed our whole trajectory on what we were looking for. You know, we wanted to be, you know, in Ann Arbor, kind of in the hustle and bustle of things. And during our search, we had Mila, and just so happened that when we were searching for homes, my wife actually went into labor as we were looking at a home in Brighton. So, you know, it was right at that perfect time. And the things that we were looking for, you know, we couldn't get for the price that we wanted in Ann Arbor. Okay, it just didn't happen. Even back then, when we were looking, you know, it was still kind of crazy. You know, and the Ann Arbor market has not slowed down from that. But Brighton has certainly changed. It has grown more popular, but back then it wasn't as competitive. So we started looking outside of the Ann Arbor area and just so happened to land on Brighton. We didn't know really anything about it. The only thing I knew about Brighton was I used to come here as a kid when I was visiting, you know, my friends and going to his lake house in Heartland. And I thought that was up north. Like, little did I know, that's just due west from Metro Detroit. But regardless, we fell in love with Brighton when we got here. We went to the downtown, we went out to eat, we walked around the mill pond, and it was just that quintessential, like, this is a small town, but everybody's so friendly, but also it's so accessible to everything. You know, it's only 15 to 20 minutes from Ann Arbor. It's about 45 minutes from Detroit. We can head up to Flint, which her parents were living at the time, you know, about 30 minutes. They ended up moving to Fenton, so that cut our drive down to 20 minutes. But you got 96 and 23 north and south and east and west for 96. And it's very accessible. So highway accessibility is great. And you have everything you need here. Department stores, you got the Costco, Target, grocery stores, even farmers markets downtown. We couldn't ask for much more. People are still asking for a Trader Joe's, but I don't know if we're going to get one. Doesn't really matter to me. There's one in Ann Arbor or Northville, which is super accessible as well. But that's neither here nor there. And the other thing I love about Brighton is there's tons of golf courses. So you do have Oak Point Country Club. If you want a private one, they do have athletic memberships or golf memberships, so you can get into the pool, get into the fitness center, or just do a social membership. Or you can also go to any of the amazing public golf courses. There's tons of them out there. You know, one of the more challenging ones that I love and hate is Moose Ridge. I played in the league there after work, and it was the most frustrating thing because I just wanted to go relax and play golf, and it was like the most challenging course. So if you want to relax, maybe that's not the best course for you to go just chill on, but it's certainly a great one. The other thing is there's a lot of recreation parks around. You got Brighton Recreation Center, you got Island Recreation Center, Kensington Metro Park is nearby, tons of lakes. You know, so outdoor lifestyle is something people absolutely love. And if you're into running, there's an awesome store downtown Brighton called the Running Lab. They have running clubs. They host events where you can just pop in. You don't have to be part of a club. They have events all year round. You know, so if you're looking for a group of runners, you got that right here as well. The other thing a lot of the metro parks and recreation centers have are bike trails. So if you are into biking, hiking, there's tons of trails, you know, to just explore. Or you could pop your canoe in at any of the points, you know, on any of the lakes or any of the rivers, you know, nearby. So outdoor living is one of those things that I hear time and time again is, hey, we're moving here for the recreations. It's also something we've grown, you know, really fond of living in Ann Arbor, having access to parks. And that did not change coming to Brighton. Tons of green space. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I think it's a really important part of, you know, just the everyday lifestyle, you know, living here in Brighton, that sometimes you could take for granted. But if you're living in a metropolitan area like Metro Detroit, or maybe where you're from, Chicago, New York, you know, California, maybe you don't have access to this type of stuff on a day-to-day basis. And it's absolutely accessible for everybody that lives in the community.
All right, so I'm here with Tyler, and I thought it'd be fun to hear from some people that actually live here in Brighton, and they lived here a long time. So Tyler is my camera guy, and I drug him out from behind the camera. What's up, Tyler?
What's up, man? How's it going?
I'm doing good, man. So I just wanted you to share kind of your story with like living in Brighton, how long you lived here, and what do you love about living in Brighton?
I moved out here about 7 years ago, so back in 2017. My wife grew up here her whole life, and we moved out here for a job, stuck here. You know, I've got 3 little kids. So at this point, you know, what we love about being here is it's such a tight-knit community of people that care about living here. Just the amount of people that care about this community, care about what's going on in this community, and they just really value the people. And that's like one thing that I'm super big on is people and loving and caring for people well. And it's just so obvious that in this community, and even niche it down all the way to like our neighborhood, right, is like people just care about people. And that's like so important to me as a dad, as a husband, but important to our family too, is that we love people, and this is a community that is all about the people, not just the businesses, not just what's going on, but the people that actually live here. So
yeah, I think that embodies Brighton very well.
Yeah.
You know, but obviously there's always things like nuances of places you live that you don't love about it. So what are some things that maybe annoy you or you just don't love about Brighton?
Yeah, you know, it's kind of like a double-edged sword, right? Because when you really care and love about people, sometimes that goes to like the extreme, right? Is they care so much about what's going on, is that we kind of lose sight of that. And that's just what I've seen living in the area, is that because everybody cares about everything, everybody cares about what's going on, whether it's school boards or it's, you know, construction happening or projects that are trying to make the community better. People are just so invested that sometimes it gets a bit much. But again, it's a double-edged sword, because at the root of it is people just, again, care about people. They care about their community. And so it's something that happens, but it's something that, like I said, if you get to the heart of it, it's just because people love this area and love living here. So yeah, it's a great community.
I think you said it good, like double-edged sword. Either you have people that are disengaged, don't get involved, and then you leave it to the city to just, you know, do it all. But when people do actually care and they do get involved, like there's always going to be those Karens, always going to be the people that like, oh man, like here that person comes again, like, you know, more. But it's for a good reason.
Right, exactly.
So I agree with you. I think it is a good thing that we have people involved that want to get kind of to the root of things and understand that progress is happening,
right,
whether we like it or not. So we might as well be part of it.
Right, exactly.
So I wanted to leave you guys with some advice from Tyler, someone who's lived here a while. And Tyler, what advice would you give somebody who's considering moving to the Brighton area?
Yeah. So I would say if you're somebody who values community and values being in a place where you feel like you actually are part of it, this area is for you. There's so much stuff to get involved with, whether it's your hobbies, whether it's different groups you want to be a part of. There's so much to get involved, and so if you're thinking about, like, if that's you, then this is a place to be, because you can really find your tribe here. No matter what you're into, no matter what your hobbies are, your interests, there's just so much to do in this area that there is a group for you to be a part of. There is a place that you can fit in. There is a place where you can find belonging. And so definitely if that is you, this is the place to be. And if you're gonna move here, find the perfect realtor.
All right, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this tour of Brighton. And as you can see, Brighton is more than just a town. It is an absolute community that brings people together. And the heart of downtown, which we're standing in right now, in the Mill Pond, you got the Imagination Station in the background, you got Main Street over here. This is where the community thrives, and this is what brings so many people together. You heard from the business owners, you heard from the locals, you heard from Tyler how he's lived here 7 years and his wife grew up here and absolutely love it. And this is a special place. It's where we call home, and we want to share that with you guys. So if you do have questions about moving to Brighton, or you just want to reach out and learn more about any city here locally around the Brighton area, please do so. My contact information is in the description below. And until next time, go check out these other videos that we got on all things Michigan, and we'll catch you on the next one.